It's true, in the end, insurance and pension funds will probably own most of the startups. They have enormous amounts of wealth. Thank you for the opportunity to spend a little time with you. My name is Ulrik. I'm the CEO and partner of Geniebelt. We are a Danish-based startup that does communication and collaboration for the construction industry only. And over the last 2 years, we've managed to get customers in around 43 countries around the world with just around 25,000 users on it. And why the construction industry? I'm not from the construction industry, but if you look at the industry, and we saw some of it today, it is huge. It's 10% of the global GDP. It's $10 trillion a year. I'm trying to explain my daughter what $1 trillion is, and I run out of zeros. So it is a massive industry. And in this industry, the average efficiency, and I saw that on one of the slides today, is 30%. And we accept that. The average amount of time you're working is 30%. And when you're working, 10% of what you're doing will be torn down and built again. It's called rework. 40% of the world's waste comes from the construction industry. At the same time, if you look at McKinsey, who did a huge study the other day, they released it the other day, in average, a construction project in the world spends 80% more than they budgeted. It doesn't work in other industries. Just think about it. If we try to put it into perspective, and we take an example most of you know, and I know, the October Festival. In Munich, 3,000 people spend 10 weeks to build 600 locations for us. We then have 16 great days, and we pay an average 10 euros for a beer. We drink 6 million liters of it, by the way. If that was a construction project, if the October Festival was a construction project, it would not be the October Festival. It would be the December Festival, which sort of kills the concept, right? And the worst part is every time you bought a beer, you would be paying 18 euros for it. And why is that? If we try to look at why have people really accepted that this is the fact? Because a lot of people will say, yeah, that's true. That's how it works. It's because there's a lot of broken communication in the industry. We use SMS, we use email, we use voice. We wait for weeks to get project updates. And there is a lot of mistrust. There is a lot of conflict. It's sort of the state of the nation when you work in the industry, that at some point you will go to court to win your money. And when I've been talking to hundreds of construction companies over the last couple of years, every player, clients, architects, advisors, contractors, subcontractors, and they say the same thing. It's always been like that. You can't change it. It's a very special industry. A lot of people get together for the first time. They have different purposes in life. They build something that's very complex only once in a lifetime. And that's bollocks. I'm sorry to say it. I have to pull away the curtain. That's simply not the state. I'm an air traffic controller by trade. So I was sitting in the tower when you were flying in and out of the airports when I was significantly younger. And just think of an airport. It's a lot of companies that come together every single day. Some of them for the first time. And they're all there with different purposes. Some are there to transport passengers. Some are there for selling food. Some are there for the security. I'm there for controlling the planes. But we make it happen. People, as a rule, don't die when they land and they take off from airports, right? It's actually more safe to travel than it is to work in the construction industry. One more fact, more people die in the construction industry every year than in every armed conflict in the world together. So take that into the equation as well. And what's the difference then if we take an airport and the construction industry? What's the difference there? From my point, sitting in a tower and trying to compare it, it's two things. It's trust. Everybody working in an airport will trust the information that they're given and they will react on it. And it's also real-time data. It's not like I landed 2 hours ago, what should I do? It's not you may take off in 2 weeks. We react on real-time data and we make things work. And I think that's what construction and what digital technologies in the construction is about. It's not about robots. It's not about fancy gadgets. This will come. It's not about 3D printing, but it's about being a catalyst for change. That's what we can do. We can go in and we can establish that real time and that trust in the industry. So what's going to happen if we look at it from our point of view? What's going to happen in this enormous industry over the coming years? It will change, I promise you. A lot of people will tell you otherwise, but it will change. Clients will take control. For the last 50 years, productivity has gone down. It's the only industry that has happened. But clients will now take control. And digital players will start to become a factor. If you look at the industry as a whole, over the last, if I just take the top 20 investments, always follow the money. If you look at the top 20 investments into the construction industry over the last 3 years, it's $1 billion US. The construction industry is the industry in the world that creates second most information, only surpassed by the financial industry. But the financial industry is very, very good at keeping that information and learning from it. 95% of every single piece of information in the construction industry is thrown out with the building water. We never look at it. So go mobile, go cloud, but keep the data. Focus on it. Thank you very much.